This is Sexy Funny Raw, where we chat all about the world of sex, from dating and relationships all the way to the adult industry itself. I'm SILVIA SAIGE, and this is my Pornspective, answering all the questions you weren't even brave enough to ask Google. Get ready, because Sexy Funny Raw starts now.
Meow.
Yeah.
Meow.
Yes.
Welcome back. All the applause. So much applause.
All the applause. All the applause.
Everyone loves the show so much.
Am I on?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're here.
Okay.
We're here.
I'm just usually louder.
Well, welcome back, you guys, to another episode of Sexy Funny
Raw. I feel like you, if you're at a drive-thru, I feel like that's how you talk. Like, I'll have the number one.
I do. That's exactly how. I make sure that they want to fuck me by the time I get up there to pay. See if I can't get out of paying for that tab.
We're like, we supersized you, ma'am, for free. And you're like, of course you did.
Thank you. So we are back with another episode of Sexy Funny Raw, how you get into the biz. I'm here with my co-host, Alexander. And I want to say a big thank you to our sponsors, both CyberSocket and Fleshbot.
Woohoo.
And let's get going. Let's introduce these guests.
Yes. Well, you've ladies first. I get so excited.
Ladies, go ahead, ladies. No, all right. So to my right, we have Ms. Kayley Gunner.
Hello.
After serving 5 years as a decorated sergeant in the U.S. Army, this blonde bombshell not only has a pretty face, but is qualified behind a machine gun as well.
Bam.
Over the past year,
Damn.
Kayley has been giving fans a reason to stand up and salute as she entered the world of adult entertainment. Kayley is originally from Hawaii, where the surf and sun were a key part of her life for this sexy beach bunny. She's now thriving in California in her rookie season of the adult industry.
Yes.
Hello, Kayley Gunner.
Hello.
Well,
And I see your guns, girl. I can see them from here.
Yeah,
Love
baby.
it.
Bam, bam. It's like, do you have a license for those? And from my part of the porn world, Jake Nicola is an East Coast guy, originally from north of Boston, and now living in LA. Thank you, Jesus. Before diving into the gay porn industry, he was a professional dancer for artists like Lady Gaga, Nicki Minaj, Ricky Martin, Kesha, and more. Look for his OnlyFans scene with Ricky Martin. No, just kidding.
oh, I wish. Oh.
But he came into the porn scene doing OnlyFans and Just for Fans before trusting Chi LaRue, whom we love, to give him his first studio porn experience in an Icon Male movie. You have to check out his hot Raging Stallion and Icon Male scenes to see why he took home the GayVN and Grabby Award in his first year of filming, by the way. Please welcome Nick Nicola.
Yes! Okay, so I just have to say, we were chatting before the show, and you said dancer, but you did not drop who
Kesha.
you were dancing for. Here I
Hello.
am thinking you're like on a box in a club,
Right, 'cause
shaking for
that's-
money.
yeah.
Like that's when I think of dancer, that's where I think is like dollar bills, y'all.
Yeah.
But you're like you're doing a whole.
I mean, I enjoy that
level.
moment as well.
You're a what?
I say I enjoy that moment as
Oh,
well.
that one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But you were saying like the best sets you were on were for like Lady Gaga and Kesha because you were able to be your own true self.
Yeah, I mean, I loved all the jobs that I did, and I'm kind of versatile in the commercial world. But I started out being inspired by like the pop world and like breaking my neck and getting, being my best gay self. And and Gaga, of course, I got to let my hair down, and in Kesha, I got to let my hair down. And then, those were the jobs where I felt like, right, this is what inspired me to get here.
Well, now I understand why
music.
your family wasn't shocked you were gay.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like the dance industry and even like the TikTok stars that we're looking at, it's still very straight centric.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the pop stars, it's like we know half the dancers are gay, but they like try to butch them up
Man
and like the
up,
sweaty
yeah.
muscles and all of that.
Yeah.
But it is artists like Kesha and Gaga. It's like, girl, if you want to do this, you do that.
Yes.
Lil Nas X, his videos are certainly changing
good.
that.
Yeah.
But TikTok is still, it's the hot straight guys. We're like, oh wow, they can actually move. It's like,
Right.
but that's not dance.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
Right.
I can't dance at all.
Is that
so-
true?
Neither.
No, I have
Okay.
zero rhythm. Like it's embarrassing. It's really, really bad. I've even tried to do because I love fitness much like you.
Yeah.
I've tried to do the TikTok fitness challenges
Yeah.
because I know that I'm capable of doing the moves, but it's doing the moves to a song, and I'm like, oh,
it's
that
so
throws
hard.
me off.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
just do the talking ones.
Yeah.
Now. I'm like, fuck this dancing.
I know.
lip
I'm like,
sync
I
one.
can't stick to a beat. Like
Yes.
this is
Girl, I've
too
seen
much.
your videos. There is some rhythm going on.
That's when I'm trying to accomplish something selfishly. That has nothing to do with rhythm.
What does happen though when you're on set with somebody and like the guy on top of you is just like there's no rhythm? Like, do you stop them and say, do it better?
No, I unfortunately do not stop them. I really should. I should really be more honest in the bedroom, but I don't. Do you stop people?
I take control and just
Do
fuck
you?
them back. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, you're not fucking me.
No,
I'm fucking
I'll like
you.
choke. Yeah, turn them over, choke them, and I'll just take control. But like,
Because she's from the army, y'all. It's like,
Yes.
I let it out.
Yeah, I love it. Were you ever like dominating men in the military? Was that,
Oh,
like-
oh, did you ever
I
have any
wish-
shenanigans?
There were okay. I don't know if I can talk about
Ooh,
this.
girl.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
I'm like,
Yes.
yes, this
The
is
answer is
exactly
yes,
what you
always.
can talk about.
There were a lot of orgies in the military.
Interesting.
And like wife swapping.
What? I have heard that.
Really?
Lots
Yeah.
of that. I was so surprised. Yeah.
I'm very surprised by that because I feel like the military is also has a element of religion.
Oh yeah, no, there's
very
definitely a code
conservative.
of conduct where you're not supposed to be going out of your marriage. So it was but it was the highest people doing this
Oh,
kind
of
of
course
thing.
it always is.
Oh, yeah, it's
and
like hypocrites.
okay,
It's
so
like-
maybe it's okay.
Yeah.
Like the government wants to take away, OnlyFans porn, but they're the ones that are watching it the
Yeah.
most.
Exactly.
Hello.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's also like the Mormon community, they're the craziest in the bedroom because you get
Right?
such a constrictive environment. People are going to not just break the rules, they're really going to break the
Oh,
rules.
yeah.
Some of my favorite porn stars are ex-Mormons. So.
Really?
Oh yeah, Cody Steele
Such
is
freak.
an ex.
Oh, we love
Cody
Cody
Steele?
Steele.
Yeah,
He's so cute.
He's ex-Mormon.
adorable.
What's her name with the super long tongue? Lena Lopez.
Oh,
She's
yes, I
ex-Mormon.
heard about that.
Yeah, it's so
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
It's like these are like the most
The
like
top stars.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah, and they're like totally religion. They're just like
Man,
built
see,
it up.
Temptation is so hot.
Right? It really is. Yeah.
It really is like
Were
taboo.
you a part of those orgies then? I have
I
to know.
did. I
Okay.
went to a lot of them.
So they're like.
Where are you having them?
Right.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
were they
saying.
like
Are
planned?
they,
Like
like,
Yeah,
Friday night,
where-
bring the meatloaf and the orgy.
They're always like there's like groups, like it'd be like a Facebook group or something, and we have
Shut
secret little
up.
meetups.
Oh
like
my
let's go to
God.
Dave and Buster's, something lame, and let's all mingle, and then we'll go to this like secret spot. And
So, and the secrecy
God.
probably intensifies the
Oh,
whole
for sure.
it made it
100%.
so much
So
hotter.
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, but I've seen some of the army spouses are not like the best looking.
Right.
Were you
Yeah,
ever
and
like,
I think that's
Right.
probably why they share their wives. But
because they want like
something different. I
Yeah.
just at least need to feel
no,
different.
but there
yeah.
are some secret like really hot people in the military, like
Oh,
girls
for
you wouldn't even
sure.
know. Like I did not look like this in the military. I couldn't wear makeup.
Yeah,
But then
yeah,
at
yeah.
night,
You could dress it up.
mhm,
Yeah.
yes.
I love seeing the
The secret
military
baddies.
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've heard from a lot of even straight guys that have been through the military
Yeah.
that there's a lot of gay action happening, but because
Yes.
you're just with the men and you're like in Iraq and you're not around, you're not able to date, that it's okay to jerk off next to somebody. It doesn't make you gay or get a
Oh,
blowjob.
yeah.
And they still are not gay. And I believe that they're not gay, but men are pigs and
Yeah.
they just want to come.
Right.
Yeah, so like the men will start hooking up together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. I didn't. Get
I mean,
to
do
deploy,
we
but
really think, or do we just think that they're just not as further to the center of the Kinsey? Like maybe they're like,
I think everybody has that
Yeah.
kind
Right?
of potential.
I think
yeah.
so
Right?
too. I do think that as well. I think just a lot of people are so afraid to even tap
Yeah.
into it or to even let themselves think they could enjoy that because
yeah,
Yeah.
so,
we're not conditioned
yeah.
to like think
Yeah.
about it. So if it's only a little bit portion to go the other way, you may
Yeah.
not even be in. It might be on not be on your radar.
I mean, I grew up
Yeah.
so religious that I didn't even masturbate till I was 19 because I thought
Holy
masturbation
Oh my
was
God.
root of, right.
My
but I thought
God.
it was like
But did you like
evil.
explore?
No, I didn't even want to like touch.
That
my
makes
own
me
vagina.
sad.
Wait,
oh my
Yeah.
God.
I didn't have an actual orgasm until I was probably around 21, and it was the guy I was dating introduced sex toys for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Years wasted.
Yeah, I know. And I started having sex at 16.
I
so it was
started,
like-
yeah, with a vibrating toothbrush.
Ah!
And it was my
That's a
dad's
commercial you don't
girlfriend.
see. or a
It
tell.
wasn't even your own
My
toothbrush?
dad would get girlfriends, but they were such bitches, so I would take their toothbrushes
God.
and I would use it and put it back. I'm not proud. I'm not proud.
She's brushing her teeth and she's like, it smells like pussy. All
And she's now lesbian. It's like, how did that happen?
Meanwhile, there's ladies are brushing their teeth with the toothbrush you just put in your pussy, and
Yeah.
now your dad is kissing them. On the same
that is
mouth.
Wait, I did
so
not think about that.
weird.
Dad, don't watch this.
That is so weird.
watch
Well, you know, the top viewed gay porn is family stuff. We know, like
Yeah.
stepfather, stepson, but it's
Family
also
Yeah.
military porn is
Yeah.
very,
Huge.
very, because the guys tend to be more our straight fantasy,
Yeah.
and there is that taboo. But that's some of
Yeah.
the highest rated.
Oh yeah,
or
my
watched.
best videos are like with guns. Like
Yeah.
any porn I've done with a gun in it, boom,
Yeah.
viral.
That's
Also
hot.
because they kind of know you for that genre,
yeah.
right?
True, yeah.
You've kind of
Yeah.
made that like your persona. Not
Yeah.
necessarily, but definitely ex-military
niche.
for sure.
Like it's real too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
exactly.
isn't like, oh, there's a gun next to her. It's
No.
like, oh no,
I
she
shouldn't
rocks
shoot
it.
it.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
watch your shit.
Well, and if you look at the analytics from Pornhub, the region that people watch porn the most and all day, it's not just early in the morning, but all day, is the Midwest. And we know the Midwest men love their guns; they love their right
Yep.
to guns. So
Yep.
that's the best of both worlds.
I mean, that was one of my
Nice.
first lines of porn I used to watch all the time, like
Really?
uniform type stuff, and that was definitely one of the lines. Yeah.
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 I
I
like
think
it.
uniforms are hot. For
Yeah.
sure.
Uniforms are hot.
Yeah.
I mean, everything from a firefighter to, well, cop is not hot, but
I agree.
firefighter to military to UPS, the FedEx guy,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
hot.
Oh my God, it's so hot. But I'm even
Those
talking like the
costumes.
Starbucks barista. You know how they have to tie the apron? You get to see the V of their chest, and then when they turn
Oh.
around, it's all butt because their shirt's tucked in, and then the string is across the top.
Wait.
Never
Oh,
mind.
No, that's actually so hot.
I've thought about
Things
this a
they
little too much.
fetishize.
What?
Yeah.
I love it.
They should really do Starbucks that way.
Hello.
lose the pants. Lose
Yeah.
It would
the
make my
pants.
Mondays better.
Why don't we make like a sexy Starbucks?
There is. So online, there's it's a barista, but it's an online barista basically, and there's cameras in her little barista room, and
That's
she
so
basically
smart.
like makes coffee in like a bikini, and then you can like come up and get your coffee. It's like a drive-through.
Ooh.
But
I
yeah.
like that, like Hooters, but
fun.
for
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's basically like it's her like fan site or whatever, and it's just like, and I mean,
Interesting.
I would have watched her make
Wow.
coffee all day because the outfit she was wearing, I was like, holy but Jesus! Like I hope you have to
Yes.
bend over to get the milk. Like that's what I want. Like I need you
I love that,
bending over to
though.
get something on a low shelf, a high
Yes.
shelf. Like
I love that you can like do OnlyFans, but do anything on there as
anything
long
you
as you're like, yeah.
want.
And so you might just need like a sexy outfit, and then
Yeah.
people watch you cook.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah.
I
you know?
I do live cooking on my OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just do it in a like lingerie or something and drink
Okay.
wine and answer questions. And
I mean,
Really
how
do
great is that?
anything.
Amazing.
yeah.
But there's also like weird stuff like I know guys bare-assed popping balloons is like a huge
Oh.
thing. Have you heard this?
I
And
have
it's
heard
just
about this. Yeah,
it's them popping balloons or sitting on birthday cake, and for some
I've done
reason
that.
it has spread. What's the
Sprinkles up
allure?
my asshole though. Sprinkles
Yeah,
for
no.
days.
I
Yeah.
definitely
done
did
it?
a scene with a cake
Okay.
smashed on somebody's ass, and then we ate the cake and his ass. And it was,
It's kind of
Wait,
sexy.
yum.
Did somebody eat the cake out of your ass?
No, I was solo. Yeah, I
Oh,
wish.
yeah.
But hey, if you ever want to shoot something, you know.
Yes.
My
Yeah.
birthday's coming up.
Have,
Oh, there you
have you
go.
ever done
Another
bi
cake
stuff?
fucking.
Yeah,
no,
cake
but
fucking.
I want to.
Yeah.
I've porn has like I had the most narrow type that I was into before I got into porn.
Same.
And as I explored, I was like, oh, I get this. This is fun. Wow. And now I keep wanting to. And my partner Vince Parker does buy stuff, and it turns me like it turns me the fuck on. It's
Well-
really hot.
Well, Well, and gay porn stars are being asked more and more to film trans porn and to film bi porn. It's now part of the job, where before it was segregated, because I know some straight women didn't want to film with guys that had done bi porn, but now that's really changing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was one of the first people to do bi for men.com.
With
and-
a rod,
With
by
a
the
rod.
way.
Yes,
yeah.
thank you.
Oh,
That was
wow.
So sweet.
Who
He is
is
so
this rod?
sweet.
And
Yeah.
He
I
is
need to
sexy
meet him.
as fuck, and he was in the military back where he came from, which was Iraq. He was in the Iraqi army.
Just so I know, we're talking about like Andrew Christian
yes,
Rod. Yeah.
Yes.
As sweet as pie.
Yes,
sweet.
Yeah, it
and
was
so handsome.
It was
And
such
all
a
the
hot
wolf,
scene.
yeah.
And it was Sherman something or other. Sherman's something. He's got glasses and blonde hair. I can't think of his
Glasses and gay porn?
name. Yeah.
Doesn't it get in the way? Like it's all fogged up, and they're like, ah.
No, but he was super hot, and it was such a super hot scene. You haven't done it yet, but you were saying that you would. Is that?
yeah, I wanna
you would
try it,
Swap over
definitely.
into bi stuff. It
Yes.
is the hottest things. Are you into men being into other men? Does that
I
turn
think
you
it
on?
takes like a really confident person to be able to do that.
Same.
Wow. See, that's a
Same.
great outlook.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
I'm
It's
just so
such a turn on.
fresh right now. I'm still trying new things. Like I haven't done a gangbang. I've gone to orgies in my personal life, but
Yeah.
never a
Apparently.
gangbang.
I was,
So I'm still like dipping my toe into things.
I
but-
was
Yeah.
her very first girl scene.
Yes, you were.
So
She
I
taught me
took
a
her
lot.
cherry there. But you had sex with women before, you said, right? Or no?
Actually, not really, but I said I did, so no one kicked me
Oh
off
my
set.
god!
Interesting.
See, I thought you had in your real life, but
Well,
not in
I've like
porn.
eaten
Yeah.
a girl out in like
Okay.
high school, but never like let's do a porn like a full
Yeah,
sex
yeah.
scene.
Were you nervous?
I was at first, but I just played like the confident like card.
Yeah,
I was
she
like,
did,
oh,
she
I
did.
totally been with women.
Yeah.
And I just made sure I ate her out really good.
And she did.
Thank
And
you.
she did. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a super
Good
hot
on
scene.
you.
Yeah.
But she gave me like the best. You gave me the best advice. I always put it in all of my articles. I talk
Aw,
about
thank
you.
you.
You told me. I don't know if I can say this on
Yes,
here.
you can
Yes,
say
of course you
anything,
can.
Yeah.
You told me make sure whenever you're on set that everyone in the room wants to fuck you.
Yes.
Yeah.
From the talent all the way to the director.
Yes.
So now I
Damn.
always make sure everyone fucking like I'm always giving a good impression, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's super important. It
Yes.
really is. Because what they think about you is whether you're going to get booked again.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
Now,
So
what do you
keep that in
consider
mind.
like sex
love it.
with a woman? Because you're like, oh, I haven't had sex with a woman before, but I went down on a girl. I know for gay men, I know couples, it's like, did you cheat on me? It's like, no, it was just a blowjob. What do you consider sex?
Oh, with a woman?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever we did.
Yeah.
I mean, just eating a girl out for a little bit. I don't think that would be sex. I mean, I
That's
don't
just
know,
an
it's
appetizer.
Hard.
I know,
Yeah, maybe
right?
some fingering, some
Yeah.
pussy play, making out, not just
Okay.
like going down and trying a girl out. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
I get
what I
what
would
you're
think.
saying.
Like a full
Being
on.
more involved instead of just like
Yes.
a little lick just to try it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I feel what you're saying.
Now, you and Vince, do you have an open relationship other than the filming part of it?
We're open, as in we play together. We
Yeah.
love groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you
you're so
said
good at
only
it,
for
too.
filming, right?
But we'll film separately.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Got you.
Outside of filming, we play together.
Got it.
Yeah, but we
Okay.
film
I was
separately because he
confused on
films by stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll film for different studios and do. There was a while where we were getting booked together in quarantine, which
Oh,
is
yeah,
really
yeah,
where we were
yeah.
building our relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it worked because that's what we wanted. And then after that, we started doing separate stuff but we have
Yeah.
really, really, really active sex lives outside of work.
That's
See, that's good to
awesome.
know.
Yeah.
Because I've talked to a lot of people that film with their partner, or they're putting out 2 scenes a week for Just for Fans, and they're like, my personal life. I think you even said it's
Mine
like
is
nothing.
None. Yeah, my personal life is non-existent.
Same. We'll hang out later.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, well, also too, because I feel like personally, for one, dating is super distracting
Yeah.
for me personally. And two, I just don't want to bring anything in outside of the industry. And I mean, for just vain reasons, my vagina gets swollen, my clit gets swollen.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to have any irritation going on down there because I don't want to have sex with a real person for no money affect me getting paid sex.
Right.
You know?
I
So
agree, yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to mess up my vagina
Yeah.
with random dick. I would rather just wait to get paid.
There's like a science to dating in the industry. I feel like
I
haven't
don't- but
found.
I don't
it
know
yet.
it. Yeah, I don't know it yet either.
I think you
so.
just have to explore and try things and
Yeah.
communicate, and
Yeah. I
by
think
trial and error you
communicate
figure out
works.
kind of what works.
Yeah.
Communication
Yeah.
is so important in anything, honestly.
And I think the mainstream public doesn't know exactly how much upkeep, like you're talking about, upkeeping your
Yeah.
body parts and that things get irritated.
Yeah.
How much that the minute you wake up, from what you eat for breakfast to the way you exercise, is going to affect you on camera
Yeah.
the
For
next day
sure.
or the next week. And it's like,
Yeah.
that has to be in your mind all the time. It's not you clock in and you clock out.
No,
Yeah.
I have Neosporin on my pussy right now because I wore a pair
Damn, girl,
of,
what are you doing?
I wore a pair of jean shorts home from Vegas, and it was like a 6.5 hour drive last night because traffic was really
no.
bad. And so I had jean shorts, and I had an irritation from just the shorts on my raw pussy.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I have
Been
Neosporin on my
there.
vagina right now. So
Yeah.
That's the sexy side of porn.
You're right, exactly. Like it's a little
I
thing
hear
you
you
don't
though.
think
It's
of.
pay attention to so much. I have
Yeah.
this is gonna be. We'll go there. It's fine. As you know,
Please go there.
as
Yes,
you know,
please.
bottoms have to go through a
A
lot already.
Yes. Yeah.
Skipped meals.
yes.
Many.
I'm not a bottom, clearly.
Yeah, especially when you're on set 6 to 8 hours and you have to stay clean, which is why there's a reason why I don't bottom for studio porn.
Oh,
I'll tell you why in a
interesting.
second. I love to bottom. I'm verse and I
I've
love
seen.
to bottom.
Like, where'd that watch go?
Fans content's easier because we're done in an hour. Boom.
Yeah.
I have, fun fact, no large intestine, no rectum. I had them both
What?
taken out when I was 9. I had a colostomy bag. I had yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I had the reattachment, obviously, because I have no more colostomy bag. So I was like terrified to start bottoming. Period.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
I have nothing to absorb water, so I go many more times a day, and it's way harder to clean. It's much more complex.
Yeah.
And so trying to stay clean all day on set when people are like wait on you and
Wow.
it's just it's too much. So
Yeah.
the play off camera is an offset balance because I'm like, all right, great. I've been getting in all the holes, and
Yeah.
now I'm just going to be the throw around hole. Here, hi.
Yeah.
It's nice. But yeah, so it's a lot that goes into it.
That kind of
me.
what I've heard is, the problems you had as a kid that can really affect the way you even have a gay relationship because you think about the physicality so much and having a colostomy at such a young age.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine how that played with your mind.
Well, having endoscopies and colonoscopies twice a year since I was 5, and then like, okay, so this is how you clean. Here's an enema. I'm like, this is the most unsexy thing to do before sex because it brings
Yeah.
me right back to like hospital stuff.
Oh, God.
So like, I mean, it's kind of a long story, but I was pretty much sexually inactive most of my life
Wow.
until I found a shower attachment, and then even that, which made it feel like, oh, I'm cleaning and I'm not being reminded of the other stuff. I got into porn truthfully 100% because I had given up trying to have sex, and I was like, all right, bitch, stop feeling sorry for yourself. You can have a sex life. It's not going to be as normal as everybody else.
Yeah.
But if you have to fuck every week, then you're going to figure out how to clean your body every week, and you'll have a nice sex life. That was my initial.
Interesting.
That was my initial like goal in getting into porn,
Wow.
and then I found a million other things that I loved about it. But yeah, because I was just really insecure in my sexual identity
Well,
without experience.
I mean, very understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane. I can't
Yeah.
even imagine going through something like that. I assume, without getting too deep, and I don't know how much you want to talk about it. It was
I'm
some
super
medical
open about all that
issues?
stuff. Yeah, I was born with a condition called, well, the easy term is Gardner syndrome or familial adenomatous polyposis. Basically, my GI tract manufactures polyps. Polyps can be cancerous or not,
Yeah.
depending on what they are. I still have them in my stomach and my small bowel, but they're much less likely to turn to cancer. When
Wow.
I was 9, they described my colon as a carpet. There was like thousands.
oh my god.
So I had to take it out really quickly. I did have
Wow.
stomach cancer in 2015 for a polyp that turned to my stomach, but I whooped its ass. It's all
Good
good.
for you.
Good for you.
Yeah, so I just had to pay attention to those things. And now I get to
Yeah.
tell everybody that I steal their small bowel virginity.
Wow. I give you so much props.
I
That's
know. That
crazy.
is
I had no-
mind
yeah.
blowing.
I mean, when you
Yeah.
take a challenge and then you're like, well, then let's really do it.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
amazing.
the successful career. I mean, that's.
Wow.
a
So
good
Yeah.
we know why you got in, Kayley.
Yeah.
Did you have anything removed before
Oh
you got
no,
into
no, I had boobs added.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
nothing removed.
Yes, well done.
Yeah.
Did you film anything and then have that done, or did you go into the industry
Oh.
having a boob job first?
The army actually did my boobs for
They
me.
did?
They pay for so much cosmetic
They
surgery from
do.
noses to boobs.
They really
Yep.
will. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yes.
That might be the only reason
Wow,
I would
that's
want to
amazing.
join.
And they do it for free. They do
They
it for
will do
free.
it
It's
for
like
free.
so. There's no excuse for ugly people in the military because you can get that fixed.
Exactly. It is a little hard. Like it's usually if you have like some kind of like mental issue, like I'm not confident because of this, and you have to go through therapy.
Right.
But mine was my tits, and I went through therapy.
And they paid for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
Wow.
shit.
Or-
I
That's
have
amazing.
Or,
Very
or if you
thankful.
tell them you have allergies, they'll do your nose.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh.
They'll do your vagina too. If you
What?
say, because you're the military pants, it's a regulation.
Oh my God, I did not know this.
Yeah, because when women zip up the
If you have
pants,
too long of a
it's
pussy.
too long, they'll snip it for you. Yeah, I had soldiers do that.
Wow.
So you can get a pretty pussy, come out with some tits.
Why don't they put that in the
More
army
and
commercials?
Yeah.
They're like out in the war. It's like, no, show this. It's like before military, after military.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
did
they
none of
take
us know the
care.
military is a place to be? Clearly.
Yeah, they pay for your
They were-
education, you have plastic
Orgies,
surgery.
plastic
Yeah, this
No,
sounds
they were-
great now.
They were doing the sex change too. I don't know what the term is. For,
I don't know what the term.
Well, that stopped when Trump took over.
Yeah.
All of that really
Like
stopped.
top
when I was
surgery
joining,
or-
they were
or-
doing
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we had a lot of that.
Reassignment
Interesting.
was what it is.
There you go,
Reassignment.
reassignment
Yeah.
surgery.
Yeah.
That's the name. Good
Did
job.
you ever feel like any issues being a woman in the military? Did you ever feel unsafe? Did you?
Oh yeah, I would. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I think the military is great, but I will say I've definitely had more sexual harassment in the military than I ever had in this industry.
Wow.
Yeah. But I ended up getting married while I was in for a couple of years, and it got me away from the barracks. The barracks, like, it's like a dorm, but with all men, and then I was the only girl. So I would have guys
thought
like
they were separate.
No,
I would have thought so
some
too.
places are. I was in a combat unit, so it was more strict. It wasn't as strict as like normal units.
Okay.
But I would have men like steal my panties out of the laundry room because it's shared. And I was like, I need to get married. I need to get
then
out.
you get housing.
Yeah. So I got
That's
married, and
crazy.
luckily, like, I didn't go through. Some women have been through crazy shit in the military,
Yeah.
but I got
can
away
imagine.
from that. Yeah.
That's amazing. And obviously that marriage.
It didn't last, no, but it was great at the time.
It got you what you
got
needed.
me what I needed.
Yeah, exactly. Most people should look at marriage that way. It was great for a time,
It
got
was,
what
yeah.
I needed,
But
and then
I
we
wouldn't
moved
consider
on.
it even
Yeah.
a real like it was like a certificate kind. It wasn't
Okay.
like a ceremony. The family didn't come.
Oh.
Yeah, no one
So
knew
how
in
did
my
your
family.
Oh, they didn't even know?
No. I told them when I got out. I was like, by the way, I'm
How old
divorced.
were you
I was 20.
when you got married?
Oh,
Wow,
so
that's
young.
so
God,
crazy.
yeah, right?
But you had to have at least someone present, right?
Oh
like,
no, just the guy who like gives you the papers.
Oh
we went to
my
a Starbucks. Yeah.
Oh my God! With
It
the sexy
was like
barista,
a
she was like,
Band-Aid.
"Hey."
yeah.
And
That
the
is
divorce was quick
crazy.
too because we didn't have kids or anything. It was
Wow.
yeah.
And it was
Easy to
amicable.
separate.
Oh yeah. It was because we were already dating. I'm like, why don't we just get married and move out? Like,
Wow.
you know?
For better
It's like
housing.
same
I mean,
thing.
come on.
Housing, yeah. And a
Exactly.
boob job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of great things.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for my time in the
Man,
military.
I had no idea. Yeah, you're right. They need to change the,
Yeah, the commercial.
entrance. Yeah, because
Yeah.
more people would definitely join. I know.
Right, there's
They've even done
benefits.
lipo because it is. If you
Yeah.
can convince them that I'm having mental issues because
Yeah.
I'm depressed about my body,
Wow.
they do it like that.
Exactly.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so I mentioned to you guys before we started, I have one thing I like to do on the show, and it's the word of the day, so we can get a little bit of education going on here. So I'm going to give you the word, and I'm going to let you see if you guys know what the word is, and then I'll tell you what it actually is.
Okay.
This is Sylvia Saige's sexy, funny, raw word of the day. Do you know what it is?
Today's word is candleism.
Candleism?
Candualism.
Candule. I might have
Candleism.
mispronounced it.
Candleism.
Dualism.
Okay.
I had no clue of this.
I
Yeah.
didn't either. Yeah.
But I do this.
Wait, what does it mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a
What?
definition?
It's
You
your
just
job.
guess.
Yeah.
Just give a
Oh,
guess.
we're
Give a-
guessing.
yeah, give a guess.
Candualism.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not good at this game.
Whatever pops
Is it
into your mind.
medical? Maybe it's a medical procedure.
It's a sex
Could
term.
be. It's a sex
Yeah.
term.
Oh, it's a sex term. Something.
I mean, it
about-
almost sounds like cannibalism. So
Oh my god.
it's like, are we eating? Is
That's
this
a
a biter?
good-
Is this
Yeah,
a biter?
Yeah, could be. Could
And
be.
Oh.
that is a
Could be.
fetish.
Right?
It is. Definitely is. I've done a cannibalism porn. So.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't
got
eat
That's
asked
pushing the
anybody.
Right.
envelope. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't eat anyone.
Well, no shit.
But,
But like, I mean, I
we
ate them
didn't-
out, but I didn't. Yeah.
No, I was basted like a turkey.
What?
And it was like a whole and it was like they
And
were
they
gonna
ate you?
Well, no, it was like the basis of like they were going to eat me for dinner later, but it was like the whole part of it was like
What?
preparing me for the meal. Like they were like seasoning me and basting me.
There's so many things
Yeah, it was
with
a
that.
thing. Okay.
Have you ever said no to doing something that's so taboo?
Now, yes, but this was early. This was my early porn days when I felt I couldn't say no
Yeah,
to
yeah.
anything, and I did
Oh.
everything.
Wow.
And I'm so embarrassed.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I know. All right, do you give up, Kayley?
Okay, I give up.
Okay.
Yeah, I fold.
I'm a failure.
So what this is, you're not a failure.
No, please.
Girl, I only pick words I don't already know. That's what I like to do is find stuff that I don't know either.
I'm just impatient. I want to know.
Yeah. It is a fetish for showing off your partner or images of him or her to others. That's the kind of relationship I need.
Dualism.
Yeah, that's the kind of man I
Cannibalism.
want in
Wait,
my
yeah.
life. Yeah, because I need someone to be super proud of me. Like, if
Yes.
you are not shouting from the rooftops that I am yours and you are
Yeah.
mine, then I don't want to be with you because I cannot
Yes.
be hidden. I'm like, and I won't lie to people for you when people are like, so when we go to this party, will you just like not say that you do that? And I'm like, nope, no, I won't, because
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like this
exactly.
is just a part of who I am.
Don't
And
filter
the
you.
odds are someone might go, why does she look so familiar? You know,
Yep.
like I
Yeah.
haven't done 10 porns. I've done thousands of porn.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I finally have found that somebody who celebrates.
You were saying that
Yeah.
you're in such like a open, trusting, like you said that you guys like build each other up. So I feel like you guys are practicing.
Yeah.
Who said it? I think it's Bo Butler.
Yes,
Oh,
of course.
okay,
He was
Bo
on the
Butler.
show.
He was on our last episode. We
Bo
love
Butler.
Bo Butler and his butt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do. Yes, we
Yeah,
do.
he's
he's
a lot of great things. We have a great scene together from Raging that came out recently.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were joking around on a studio set that we did, and he was like, "You and Vince are like the best hype man in porn." Like, because he always sees us as hyping each other up, like, you know,
Yes.
and even on camera, you know what I mean? Like, or the people who are with and we're that way, you know. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know. I think we're both so grateful to have like gotten to this place of, you know, sexual positivity and sharing with all these great people that, yeah.
I mean, I'm not in the porn industry, but my ex-boyfriend, he was very well endowed,
Yeah.
and it was such a turn on for me to have people like lust after it, and so I would show people that. Or if we went to a bar, I'm like, hey, take off your underwear in the bathroom so people can see you free ball. It was so exciting to me. And then that involved, and then I started watching him, which was another term that we've discussed.
Yeah.
But it's such a turn on to have somebody so into the person that I'm with, because at the end of the day, that's what I get whenever I want.
Come home to you.
I agree. I like that too. Like the last relationship I was in, I was always like, oh, look how attractive he is. Like I was always like showing
off,
people
yeah.
pictures
Yeah.
of him. I'm like, he's so hot. But
Yes.
I also noticed in the relationship, I also was always the one who was like, oh, you're so hot. You're so hot. And it was never reciprocated. It was just like, he was just like,
Can I say something?
yeah.
I dated somebody briefly in porn, and I would never congratulate him on. I would tell him he was sexy and the sex was great, but I always felt that I was objectifying him and relating him to his porn ego. So when I never wanted to say, "Oh my God, you have such a big dick," or "You're so fucking hot," because he got that. People were telling him that in the scenes, and I wanted it to be so different from that.
I get that.
Interesting, yeah.
That's really good.
Now, not to deep dive into your personal life, but you also have dated somebody in the adult world before.
I did. Yes.
So that didn't. It wasn't that kind of relationship, because you guys had filmed stuff together.
Ooh, where do I go with this?
And if you don't want to talk about it,
it's totally cool. I think it's important to talk about it. I also love this person, and like
sweet.
We were together for 5 years for a reason. We have a connection that I will never forget, and I will always be grateful for. He was with me through cancer. He was with me through. I wouldn't have come into sexual liberation had I not dated him. There's a lot of things that I looked up to when I met him. I was nowhere near sex positivity or any of those things. I thought I leaned more towards monogamy, but I was open to seeing maybe the other side of things. I knew for a fact when we started talking that he preferred being open. We both completely dropped the ball in communicating what this was going to be. So when we became boyfriends, we just acted like we're not going to have this conversation of whether we're open or whether or not. And 8 months goes by, and finally I'm like, we need to talk. What are we doing?
Right.
Yeah.
It turns out, whatever. He had decided and was playing around anyway. And so I was like, okay, but you know what? You might have some fault there, but also that's my job to communicate.
Right.
I didn't. I did not set a boundary. So you're technically not taking one. Yes, you have responsibility, but ultimately you have to look at my piece in it. Yeah. So then we tried from that point. Because trust wasn't there from the beginning, it never really got there. But I loved how liberated Adam was. I loved how like you're talking about who he is in front of whoever. I don't suppress my porn life when I talk to straight people. My training clients, I train one-on-one. They all know about what I do. He was that way. I loved that, and I was inspired by that. And we didn't build enough of a healthy vibe. So as I moved on, I learned in that way.
I want you to give a master class in communication and relationships. Like I'm like, how do I find you in a partner? Like that's so amazing. I just love the openness and
I know all the good
the
ones
vulnerability,
are
the vulnerability of being able to talk about that stuff.
Let me
Kayley,
know.
are you dating right now, or what has your dating experience been?
I've tried in the industry, and it's
You mean with other performers?
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm so weird. Like, I don't want someone who's fucking other people, but I know it's so backwards because it's what I'm doing. I know. I can't. I'm just very jealous. Like, I would have to
Same.
block them on all social media.
Oh
like,
my God.
if they was a performer. So I've been dating outside,
Yeah.
but it's hard because like sometimes I don't know if I should even tell people what I do because they want Kayley Gunner all the time. Like, they'll want me in the bedroom, but I just got off work. I don't
Right.
want to fuck like that, you know. So it's been hard dating.
It
but-
is. I'm not good at it, and I will just say I've
Same.
tried too, but I'm like you. I don't want them to have sex with other people. I'm like, this is paid for me, so this is what I'm
it's
doing.
work for me.
Yeah.
Right.
But when I'm with you, this isn't work, you know. So
Yeah.
unless you're gonna go and make a couple $100 having sex with somebody, then you don't get to. Like, you don't.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
So,
and
I
I
don't-
don't know. I feel like it's kind of unfair.
It is
though,
a
in way.
double-edged sword. It is a
I
double-edged sword.
think, and I know
Yeah,
it's
what do
really
you
hard to
think?
get there, and I still don't think it's for everybody.
Yeah.
But interestingly, well, first of all, there's a term called, and you've had RC on here, Ryan Carter.
Yes.
Yeah, he
Yep.
was.
So he taught me the term of conversion, which is when you are like genuinely like turned on of seeing your partner get off and things like that.
Yeah.
Even though we are playing together, there's still times where we're in a group and, and I'm going to go get some water and he's going to go live his life. And then I come in and I watch him. And the more we play with other people and I get to see his joy, which is my friggin' favorite and turns me the hell on, the more you give somebody freedom to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And the more nights he still comes home with you,
Right.
to me, I feel closer because I'm constantly being reminded that I'm not just sex for you. I'm not just we're so much more than that. And I think it brings us together over time. It's just really challenging to get there, and it's not for everybody. But I find myself more secure in a relationship the longer we're open and the more we build.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, though. But yeah.
I think it really depends on the couple because I've also known couples then that sexual freedom leads to more sex and more sex so that the minute somebody wakes up, it's about on the apps, about having sex to the minute they go to bed. And then the other partner's like, well, it's not just the sex, but that's all it's become too.
Right. Well, and that's where the communication comes in, is that there has to be, like, we always kind of say this thing, like, this little joke before we walk in, okay, let's have fun. Let's not get lost in the freedom that we have.
There you go.
As in,
Yeah.
and you learn how to
Boundaries
check
on
into
the
each
freedom.
other.
Yeah.
Because you can't like set an entire rule book in the beginning because you don't know what each other's triggers
Yeah.
are.
You
So
kind of
kinda
learn
have
as you
to-
go, right?
Yeah, and we always just approach it like if somebody has a moment and they get jealous and like, all right, this is what's happening. Like, a first thing to remember, the only reason they're coming at me right now is because they're hurt. So
Yeah.
if you take it from that perspective, but it's just, I think the idea of open
Again,
is
I'm like,
amazing, but it
write this stuff down.
requires
Can we write this
so
down?
much work.
Right.
But I think it's worth it. It's just, but it's a shitload of work.
I think that you should write a book.
I know, right?
I would buy it.
Yeah.
But talking about work,
Yes.
we're talking about how breaking in the biz. Both of you have hit the scene in a relatively short amount of time, but so successful.
up.
It's gone from like
Oh.
this, and that is not the usual pattern from what I've seen.
Oh, thank you.
What do you think were your biggest challenges getting into the industry?
Oh man. I honestly, when I first started, I thought, after my first scene, I was like, I'm never doing this again. Fuck this. Like, these people
Really?
are just want to use my body and use me. I was so against, like, after my first scene. I had a
Wow.
terrible experience, but then I missed it.
Do you, you obviously don't work for that company.
Oh, no,
anymore.
it's not really the company. It was just more of like an awkward experience, a very embarrassing story.
Okay.
Yeah. So
We'd
then,
love to hear.
I
it.
know, right? I know.
You
I'm
can't
like,
just say that on the show and then be like,
And
okay.
time.
I think I can tell it.
Yeah?
But when I first did a scene, it was 2 scenes back to back actually. So I stayed for 2 days in Arizona, and one of the scenes they ambush you with a really big, huge cock. So the second day, the first day I did boy girl. The second day was a blowjob with the same boy from the first scene. And then he takes me into the bathroom and I get ambushed by this guy with a huge cock. And I'm supposed to be like, oh my God, it's so big, So he ambushed me, but the guy that gave me a blowjob in the beginning came in my mouth on accident. So I got ambushed in the bathroom, and then the male talent walks up and makes out with me. And I get the sperm all over his face.
oh.
And then I say, wait, can I wipe my face? I have cum all over it. And the guy just goes limp.
Loses it.
And then we're there for like 12 hours.
Oh, no.
And so that was my first experience, and I was
that
like,
would
I'm
suck.
never gonna come back to this industry. Like I felt so, I don't know,
That is
embarrassed.
crazy.
Yeah. So, but then I missed it. Like I waited a month, and I was like, fuck, I want to do this
go
again. Yeah.
And then you had good experiences.
Yes. So I think no matter like what your first experience is, you just gotta like look past it. And
See,
then
girl, I
try
don't know if I
again.
would have come back after a bad day like that.
You know what the sad thing about it is, though, you took the responsibility on, and that was not your fault.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know that's how I am. I just felt guilty, you know. But then it was like, okay, well, this is a whole embarrassing just situation.
Right,
Like
for-
no one's fault.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
everybody. Yeah.
It just-
yeah.
So I missed the industry, and I came back.
I love that you came back, though. Good for
Yeah.
you. Like,
So no matter like what terrible experience you have, you just have to like look at it differently,
Yes.
and then just maybe try again. Because
Yep.
there's probably a lot of girls who have had like a horrible first experience. Yeah.
Well, my first was
What is
not
yours?
awful. My first was with my girlfriend, who's now the mother of my goddaughter.
Oh, wow.
But she was already in porn, and then I got in, and my first scene was with her and Seth Gamble. It was a threesome.
Okay.
So it was like super easy because my friend was there, and she already told me like what to expect and what to
Okay.
do, and we were super high,
Oh,
and it was
good.
fun. And
great.
I was like, nothing matters. This is great. It was so fun. So my first one was good. It was like the 3 years after that where I was like broke and doing awful seedy things, and I would even like change my name because I didn't even want to do it under Sylvia. I was so
Oh,
embarrassed.
I see.
Wow.
Okay.
I did a lot of seedy shit in
Oh.
the very few years. Not good. And for not a lot of money. Gross.
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 Ew.
You know, but I really feel like there should be more restrictions on the studio when they have somebody that's new or it's their first scene, almost like a 101. Like, you know, you have to get your
Yeah.
driver's license, you have to go through some training. I
Right.
think there should be that for your first
I
day
agree.
because I think it could mentally scar somebody for
Yes.
life.
I've heard
Yes.
horror stories about people
And-
coming in.
Well,
And
kudos
see,
to you for like keeping going and finding your lane and like pushing
And taking
through.
control.
'cause-
You're one of the top
That's
rated
what I
in like
learned.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you can. I've learned that you can say no to anything.
Yes.
Like you. Yeah. And
Huge part to know.
yes, you
That
want to
part.
actually enjoy your job, or people will notice on camera, and then they're gonna be like, "Well, fuck this girl. She doesn't
Yeah.
even care. Like she doesn't even enjoy it." You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, I agree with the 101 thing. I feel like everyone should know, like, how to start your business, how to set up
Yes.
your
Yes.
accounts.
Yes.
Like, I mean, my first email, and I still have it, it's SilviaSageXXX@gmail, which that's so dumb. You know, like, why would that be the email? It goes straight to spam, and then it looks bad, and it's just a bad,
yeah.
it's just a bad web connection, you know? And I'm like, didn't know simple little things I wish that I would have known. I wish
Yeah.
somebody would have given me a little 101. I tried to give you some 101 when
You
we were
gave-
there. I tried to
yes.
give her like vagina health 101 too, because I wish I would have gotten that in the beginning.
Yeah.
And
But I think this is in the straight porn world, and this is just from my behind the scenes, is women are not so apt to help other women because there's that I think in the gay porn world, because the gay men are so different, there's different genres. I think there's more support there.
Yeah, I've had different experiences. I got lucky with a really awesome first experience. I felt really welcome because I was doing fans content, and Shishi was literally in my inbox
Shishi.
on Twitter. She's fucking awesome. Like every month asking for scenes. And she was like, is this too much? Should I stop asking? I was like, you know what? No, because I've learned never to say never.
Yeah.
It may happen one day, but if you get tired of asking me, I totally get that too. And finally, I was like, yes. And I felt good because I felt like I had somebody who believed in me,
Yeah.
and it was everything. And then my first scene was with Adam Ramsey. Do you guys know Adam Ramsey? He's beautiful.
Yeah.
But like such like a hippie, free spirit, big ball of love. And from the moment I walked in, he was like affectionate with me. He was like, "What do you need? By the way, you know, we got to keep each other. You know, what are your turns on? How can I help?" Like he nurtured me immediately.
Yeah.
And like throughout the day was like, by the way, a lot of people don't know this, as you were saying, you can say no. Or if you think this order doesn't work for a struggle of this, say something. And right away, I felt like I had like this veteran who was so sweet and so encouraging throughout the day. And I've had a lot of experience on set with dance and music videos and stuff. So I kind of learned through that experience that it is okay to ask for certain things for your comfort and to not be okay. And so thankfully, I had a little bit of that where I kind of got used to it. But I had a really great first experience.
Oh,
I
good.
feel like even now doing studio work, I still feel pressure to do things that I don't necessarily feel comfortable with. For one, coming on my face, I don't like that, and I still do it for pornos when it's commercial work or studio. I don't know why I said commercial. Usually not commercials coming on my face. But it's things like that, or even like, that's why I love shooting for OnlyFans, because like you mentioned earlier, it's a 1 hour in and out of my house as opposed to a 12-hour day on set. And I'm not doing a position for 6 minutes, you know, and, and my legs are dying, and they're like, no, you have 2 more minutes, keep going. And I'm like, oh my God, I just don't want to do this right here any longer.
And then when you're like stopping and going, you're like, you're not establishing a connection and staying there. Whereas like in a fans thing, you're in and you're not, and you're just going with the flow, and so it's easier to stay connected.
It's
and
more
to go
real.
into vibe.
Your OnlyFans too. Like, it's genuine pleasure. Like, you wouldn't be doing it if you didn't want to do it.
And you wouldn't be fucking that person if you didn't.
Exactly. You have the right to say yes.
You're booking your own people.
There's a little bit more autonomy there.
Yes, and people love that shit. People love amateur porn.
Yeah,
you know, like
they do.
you can do it on a phone. You don't need a whole production crew for OnlyFans usually. So
that's what I always when porn directors get too crazy, I'm like, you guys, it is not that serious. Like, I've had directors yell at me, like, because I put my hair behind my ear at one point when we were doing, like, dialogue, and I said one scene of it with my hair out and then another scene with it behind my ear. They're like, we have to redo the whole thing. You put your hair behind your ear. And I'm like, no one gives a fuck. Like,
they're fast-forwarding. Then they fast-forward to the fucking, like, oh, God, I missed something. And they go back.
Or on another set, it would be their job to recognize continuity and tell you to do that before you start.
Right.
Whoops.
Yeah.
I mean, right? You know, like.
That's so true. So true.
I do appreciate, though, a good director photographer who's like, hey, you don't look good that angle.
Yes.
So just like maybe change your hair there or do this. Like, I appreciate when someone, because then you go but look back at it and you're like, oh, thank you.
I think that's good advice in the beginning is like, don't be afraid to ask what they need or what they want or if something's okay. Like, if you preset into a position, you know, certain positions are tough. You got to make sure they're getting what they're getting. And sometimes you got to get into twister, you know, to fuck a hole at a diagonal. You know, and you don't know where they are. I found that asking is like, and you know, I'm like, all right, maybe I'm annoying because this is the 5th question, but at least I know where we're at. And so I'm not questioning when I'm going if they're getting it or not.
And studios don't give a fuck what you look like in those photos. Sometimes they'll just post the most nasty
Double
photo.
Chin. I know.
I'm like, what is going on with my tip? Why would you?
We're supposed to be turning people on here. I know.
I'm like, no one looked at the photos before we put them up? Like, what is happening right now? But have you ever worked with Al? He's a creative, oh my gosh, Mad Creativity on
Oh, no,
Insta.
but I've seen his work.
He does all my photos, and what I love about him is he does exactly that. He will literally go and do the pose he wants me to do. He's like, do this, where you put your leg out like this. Yeah, and he'll tell me the exact pose, and then if, like, my stomach looks fat or something, he goes, suck in. Like, and he'll tell me.
I appreciate someone who does that. Yeah.
And I'm like, thank you. Let's not have me looking ridiculous. Like, tell me what's happening with my body.
Yeah.
But it also takes you being receptive and not, you know, self-defensive.
Yeah. That too.
For sure. Trenton Ducati is my like G with the photos.
Oh, everybody loves working with him.
I'm like, Trenton, your photos are the one. He gets them done quick. His lighting is like spot on. And I mean, he's been in the industry for so long.
I think
so
that's
he knows
the
all
benefit,
the cues that resonate with you.
I mean, he's been in front of the camera, so he knows what that's like, and he also is now behind. I think that's the perfect.
Yeah. So what is a reality of the business that you think fans don't see outside of what we were talking about earlier with the like the maintenance? Like, what do you think?
We can't ruin the magic for them.
Do you don't want to ruin it?
Is it just about maintenance or just
the magic
period?
all the time?
Yeah. What? Okay. Repeat the question.
What do you think is something that's like behind the scenes that our fans don't know about what's going on in porn? The reality behind it.
The reality.
Okay. I don't know if this is in the realm. I think the reality is that is a part of who I am as a lover. That is not who I am as a lover, because we have to position ourselves in a certain way to get certain things. And we have to cater to certain fetishes because porn has to be specific to get to different groups.
Exactly.
So a lot of times people meet me and think, oh my God, I thought you were mean, or I thought you were an asshole. I know, and I'm like a big bubbly goof puppy, you know. And I'm way more of an emotional lover in real life than I am. I'm a Leo all the way down, and I am like.
But you said you do like hardcore hard shit, and
I mean, I can get into rough stuff. I don't get into a lot of kink, really.
Oh, okay.
No, I can get into
But like
a little bit
Raging Stallion, they push the boundaries.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah, punch myself. Okay, how to put? I don't like I wouldn't call it kink primal. Like as a guy, I like to dig my head into your skull and feel that tension. I like a punch in the chest. I love armpits and hair and getting like and grunting and getting rough in that way. Yeah.
Turn on the AC.
That's hot to me. And I also like when that primal stuff comes from nurture rather than like if I was to get into any dom sub stuff, it wouldn't be like the humiliating, degrading stuff, which people love and go the fuck off. I like it from a nurture and from a real connection. To me, like if I'm banging on someone's chest, I'm not banging on their chest because I'm trying to be like I'm better than you. I'm like I'd go to fucking bat for you. This is how hard I'll go to bat for you.
Right.
Like that's what I think of.
Yeah, I think a lot of fans too don't know like the behind the scenes how we have to work with each other. Like you might have a no list or something you're not comfortable with, and I'm like, well, I love my hair pulled, but then the other person's like, I don't feel comfortable pulling your hair, or I want to be choked. Well, I don't feel comfortable choking you. Like this, it's not always gonna be like the sex we would have outside of work for sure.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think those were great points on both of you guys. All right, we are going to wrap this show up, so if you can tell the people where they can find you on social media.
Yes.
Go ahead, Kayley.
Hello, you can find me at Kayley Gunner on Instagram, Twitter, and OnlyFans.
Yes, you can.
Bam. You can find me at Jake Nicola X on Twitter, on OnlyFans, on Just for Fans, on Rafa Club, and on Top Fan Vids. It's new.
Yeah, that's
Love
the new.
it.
Yep, it's the new
We
one.
heard about that
that's
last time.
Yeah.
Trendy Ducati. It's
Super
popping
exciting.
off.
And it's the top names. Like it literally is like, oh my god, they're all stars.
They said it's like the Netflix of like top gay performers, and you get like every top performer on the site.
That's awesome.
Like on that site just for the one
Yeah,
subscription
when you
price.
subscribe,
What?
you see everybody's stuff. So
Yeah, isn't that
That's
awesome?
amazing.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yes.
I know. It is.
My hand has calluses from that site.
All right, thank you guys so much for doing the
Thank
show.
you.
I had
Thank
two
you.
podcast virgins here.
Yes, that's
And you
exciting.
guys killed it.
You guys
did
did so well.
great. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Cherry
Thank you,
spot.
Alexander. Thank
Yes.
you to our sponsors, Fleshbot and CyberSocket. And until next time, guys, adios.
Bye.
Mwah. Thank you.